Welcome to the First Look seminar. This is our final show of the meet at Santa Anita. And first of all, Gino Bacola, I'm surprised you're doing this as your Dodgers are playing in the World Series right now, and Skip Aruni as well. But welcome to the show. Thanks for joining me. I know you got one eye going this way and one eye going the other way, Gino.
Hey, when it comes to work, you know me, man. I got a lot of stuff that I like and enjoy, but work always comes first. And we have a very important pick five sequence to discuss. It's closing weekend here. Just a couple more opportunities for us to play these multi-race exotics. And saw something out of the corner of my eye that I thought was good for a second. I was definitely distracted for a moment. But Chappie, what are we going to be doing tomorrow? Pick'ems, pick'em.santanita.com. Two more opportunities to win $1,000. My buddy Eric won one of these last meet. He's hungry to win another one. He's previewing them all the time. He's putting out some of his thoughts. So you can win $1,000 every Saturday, every Sunday for free. And maybe we could win a lot more than that on this pick five tomorrow.
No question about it. And Scotty, I know you dove in today, the pick six today with that 2-day carryover. Ended up paying a little over $7,000. Not bad. Scotty, how'd you do? And you ready for big day tomorrow?
Yeah, the only race I missed was the first leg. I had the 6 horse, the 7 we talked about that was the other horse, and I considered using both horses, but I didn't think it was going to pay too much, so I didn't want to play too big of a ticket.
And that leads us to the dueling singles, which Skip had the first leg and then was DQ'd out of his other leg. I'm not laughing, Skip, because I know that cost you the pick 6. Oh, what a day, my friend.
Yeah, tough day. We're just going to turn the page. We're going to focus on tomorrow and really looking forward to the Breeders' Cup next week. So let's get lucky and hit this thing tomorrow.
I know we are cutting into the ratings of the World Series right now, so we'll keep this short so people get back to the game. So let's jump right in, gentlemen. 10 race card tomorrow. That means the late pick 5, which we will be covering, starts in race 6. Gino Bacola, as always, we start with you. Mile and 16th. Allowance optional claimer. What are your thoughts here? Ultra Power was ultra impressive last time out. I love that horse last time at 3-1. We're not getting 3-1 this time, Gino.
No, earned a 104 buyer speed figure. And that's what is a little bit scary when you play horses like this, where they run a really big race kind of out of nowhere when it's not progressing and it's not like in the pattern. Because once you hit that point, can you go forward again? Or can you only regress a little bit? Now, a lot of times horses like this run so fast that they can still regress and win, but they're going to be such short prices that you always want to at least look a little elsewhere. We know the name Imagination, who was a horse who actually ran in the Preakness, was the runner-up in the Santa Anita Derby. She feel like he could sit a pretty nice trip here from the outside, sit off just a little bit, second start back off the short little break. He can sit and pass horses, but he doesn't want to be too far out of it. So I think he fits pretty well in here. The one that's a wild card, I would just wish there was one race off the bench, was the 5 American Admiral, because he absolutely has some races there that are good enough to compete with this group. When you look at the company that he kept last year too, rest in peace, Practical Move. We're talking Newgrange, Salesman. Those are multiple graded stakes winning horses. Messier's a multiple graded stakes winner. Midnight Mammoth crushed in one of his starts and won grade 3. So we're looking at really nice horses, but it's a long layoff for American Admiral over a year. So he actually could get a nice setup if for some reason all of these horses end up being a little forward, right? We could see For All Mankind, Ultra Power, and a few of these all wanting to be close. So I just wish there was one more race for American Admiral. I'll definitely be using Imagination, though, in the mix.
I'll give my opinion shortly. Scotty, what are your thoughts on this compact field, but a good field?
Well, I mean, Ultra Power ran good last time out, but this is, Imagination's a lot better than what she faced, what Ultra Power faced. So, Ultra Power is doing well, but Imagination is going to definitely be my play. We've got her at 8-5 on the eMorning line and at 41% to win. Ultra Power is the other horse for sure. I'll give you a long shot, and that's Tarantino. This horse, I think this horse might run a better race. I know it was only a 40,000 claimer, but this horse might run a better race for at least the exotics. And then you also have to worry about For All Mankind, 2 races back. That wasn't a bad effort. And there's a high likelihood that For All Mankind might actually have the lead. And one of the reasons why I like Imagination is because of that post position, because that horse can rate. sit right off of the 2, sit right off of the 3, and if they duel, then Imagination is likely going to win this race. So I like the 6.
All right. What about you there, Skipper? What are your thoughts here?
You know, I'm going to go too deep. I'm going to go the 2 horses that they mentioned, Ultra Power and Imagination. Ultra Power was ultra impressive last time. God, that was really good time. Won very easily, 7 lengths off the bench. Bred to be a good one. Curlin, Unique Bella. The thing that scares me with this horse, like October 7th's work was good. October 14th's work was not good. And then it came back with a really nice work on the 21st. It's just a little too inconsistent for me to take that short price and single this one. So I'm going to use Imagination too. That's the only other horse. American Admiral, like Gino said, I would consider using this if it had a race out. Coming off the bench, you know, that's asking an awful lot of that horse. So I'm going to go 2 and 6 in here.
All right, I'm going to be the contrarian here.
3 and 6. 3 and 6.
I'm going to do 2 tickets. One of them will be Ultra Power. I will single. I think this horse just coming into his own as the 3-year-old, and I did like the last work. The other ticket, I will be going 2, 3, 5 because I did like American Admiral off the break. We are big into the works. I did not like Imagination's last work at all, which was with Newgate. The horse changed leads very, very, very late, almost not till the wire. And I'm not using Imagination at all on my ticket. So I'm either going to be dead on or done after one leg. But that's why we have opinions, right? And we move on. So I'm completely against Imagination here. So I probably just put Imagination right in the winner's circle. All right.
I was going to say, keep talking. Anything else to say? You want to go ahead? Keep going. Keep going.
We shall see. All right. I'm going to go back to Skipper here in leg 2 because I know there's a horse he likes quite a bit. I don't know in this spot, but mile and 1/8, race 7, the Twilight Derby, grade 2. This is a field of 7, but we've got some talent in here, Skipper. And I know you're a big fan of Stay Hot. Is that a single in here for you, or are you going to look elsewhere?
It is for me. I love this horse. This horse loves to win, loves the grass, loves Santa Anita's grass course. Coming off the bench, Peter Eurton was having a really tough meet at Del Mar, and this was like his first winner out of a lot of chances. Won very nicely that day in a very good time, 1:40.4 for a mile and a 16th on the grass. Came back in the Del Mar Derby, and look at the fractions, 50, 115, 138. Just they were walking on the lead that day. This horse had no shot that day. It got beat by Michael McCarthy's horse, Formidable Man, who I bet that day because of the pace scenario. But I'm right back on board here with Stay Hot. I love this horse. I'm going to single it. I wish we could get 3-1. But
Scotty, your thoughts? Is that a single as well for you?
I'm on Stay Hot. Yeah, I'm on. I think Stay Hot has a big chance. 5 wins in 10 tries, and I felt like Stay Hot is got a big chance of winning.
Gino, any other horses you're going to use in this sequence?
Yeah, I actually in the Stay Hot race, I thought the one Atishlin actually did have legitimate trouble behind Stay Hot. Look, Atishlin was sitting in front of Stay Hot and then just got pinned in when Stay Hot started to build up the momentum on the outside in Formidable Man. The one had to wait a little bit, wait, and then moved after they were both able to move and kind of build the momentum up. So I thought the one was also worth inclusion. I'm also going to include the 5 as well with Stay Hot, Cathal, who that last race was pretty impressive. This horse was about 7 lengths off, was waiting, was traveling really well, stayed inside, and then just got a little room and moved through. Feels pretty handy. I think this horse wants to come from farther back. Got a little caught up on the front end. 2 starts back, and I think if you can eliminate that race and you look at the way they want to ride her, they want to ride him probably more off the pace. So I'll use the 1 and the 5 along with the horse to beat, who is Stay Hot.
I'm exactly with Gino. I'm 1, 4, 5. I think the 1 is improving, lightly raced, and I've always loved Cathal, and I agree with you, Gino. That horse, so it needs to sit and has a big turn of foot and make that big run. And I've been waiting for that horse to put it together and kind of jump up a little bit, and added the blinkers the last 2 times out. I'm 3 deep as well. So, all right, let's move on to the 3rd leg. Race 8, Scotty, we are going 6 panels here, 12 $1,000, 500 non-winners, a 2 lifetime. What are your thoughts here?
Well, it looks like a tough race. I'm actually going to take a bit of a price. I'm going to try who's most likely going to be the front runner, and that's the Big Cheezola. I just think this horse it might clear, and that's why I want to take a price, because I'm not really sold on the 7 horse, and I'm not Rick's Red Storm, and then Jarama, who's going to end up being your favorite. Horses that break their maidens don't come back to beat winners very often. Although I will say this, that was a 50,000 maiden claimer. Now the horse is in for 12.5. Something feels amiss to me.
Yeah, I thought this was a little bit of a tough race there, Skipper. What are your thoughts here in this race?
I'm going to use a few in here. I'm going to use the 3 Chasing Rain. I like that horse. I like the price, 6-1. I'm going to use the 7 Rick Red Storm. I like that it's going route to sprint, dropping class. Andy Mathis does a good job. He spots his horses where they could win, and I think that horse has got a big shot. I'm going to use Jarama, and then my bomb is Curry, the outside horse. Now, this horse looks terrible the last 3 races. I mean, it took that big 2-year layoff. It looks terrible since it came back, but it's coming back to its favorite track. And sitting there on the outside, dropping down to the lowest level, I'm going to take a shot with 20-1, and I'm going to use Curry on my ticket also.
All right, so if Curry wins, it would be from way downtown. Bang there, Gino. What are your thoughts along with Skipper?
Well done. Yeah, I like the 7. I'll be using Rick's Red Storm, probably along with the 8, and I think the 4 who Scott mentioned. Rick's Red Storm, when you just sort of go through the 3 races, the debut race was very good. Actually beat Jamara that day, or Jarama, then came back. And right after, in the second start, right after the start, just took a couple weird strides and was out of the race. Just never got into it. Most recent race was against Tougher, much tougher there. Actually had a really good start, but was to the outside. And the problem was he was lined up 5 deep. So he couldn't get in any closer. So I actually think he has a little more sneaky speed than it might suggest. And this is not the strongest race in the world. So I feel like he fits pretty well in here. The 7 will be one that maybe I even key in on a ticket or 2.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. I was 3-7-8. I might spread a little bit. I probably use the Big Cheezola, like Scotty said. I thought the 3 would be interesting because of the connections. I think you're going to get more than that 6-1 on there. So just at the price, that horse might be interesting.
Another one, guys, another one real quickly that we should consider as well, and this is my second choice in the race, and that's Damasio, because if the Big Cheezola, who's burned a little bit of money, doesn't go gate to wire, and the other ones are not good favorites, meaning the 7 and the 8, then the 6 horse could actually get a good trip, 3rd race off the layoff, and is training pretty good. So I would definitely use Damasio as well.
All right,
Chappie, what threw me kind of off the scent a little bit of the Big Cheezola, because I was looking initially thinking the Big Cheezola was going to get the lead, and that Chasing Rain actually was faster than the Big Cheezola in that race there. So I'm just sort of like, I thought this pace scenario was just kind of murky, trying to map it out. That's what was a little difficult.
What is the scent of Big Cheezola, Gino? Is it
what, Brie or Parmesan? I was gonna say.
Just wondered, Scotty, are we going to see the dog with the goggles for one last time for the year, or no?
She doesn't have the goggles on.
Well, okay, never mind.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You don't want to see her now that she doesn't have the goggles. See how you
No,
are?
I just, not everybody's seen the goggle dog. It's the best thing in the world.
It is.
That I was going to say, that horse, that dog should have its own TikTok. Did you do it?
No, she does.
She does.
In fact, no. Listen, she had a video go viral the other day. It had I want to say 200,000 views, and it had like 31,000 likes. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Skipper, you got to get Zenny on it. You got to put something.
Yeah, you're behind, Skip. Come on, Skip.
It's funny. What was her name? Dottie? Is it Dottie Sheriffs?
Yeah.
She saw Zenyatta out when the Breeders' Cup with Santa Anita a few years back. And she asked me, she said, "Oh my God, that dog is beautiful." And I said, "Well, yeah." I said, "Thank you." I said, "She's part wolf." I said, "And guess what her name is?" And she said, "What?" And I said, "Zenyatta." And she said, "Of course it is." And she said there was another lady that worked for DRF or TVG or something and said she should have her own Instagram page. But I never followed through with it.
Well, I'm surprised at that because you're so good with the social media like I am. So I'm very shocked. All right, let's move on to race 9. I can tell Gino's going, all right, guys, the Dodger game is on. Let's move on.
It's all good. We're fine. It's early still. And it'd be different if this was game 7 at the end. We're still at the very beginning of game 1, so we'll be done, and I got plenty to watch. We're good.
It's still the World Series. I know what you're talking about. All right, Skipper, race 9. We love the allowance races, but we love going down the hill especially. And this race is very interesting. Doesn't seem to be a whole lot of pace in here. What was your thought of this race going down the hill in race 9?
I'm going to use a few in here. This is our favorite race coming down the hill. Friends of mine, they own the 7 Special Flower. This horse will definitely be on my ticket. First time out on the Santa Anita turf course, the flat turf course, going 6 furlongs. She won very nicely. Yeah, she was a 5-year-old maiden, I broke her maiden that day. Then they came back, gave her a little time. She had a little issue, and she needed that last race. So I throw that race completely out. She broke from the way outside that day. I think she's going to love coming down the hill. So 7's going to be on my ticket. I got to use Annie's Joy. Annie's Joy, I think, will love coming down this hill. It's got that tactical speed. Mark Glatt, Mike Smith's been riding great. I think she'll love coming down the hill. I'm going to use Shamrockin'. Both of its wins have been over the Santa Anita turf course. Paul Aguirre trains. Tiago Peralta won today, or he had 3 winners today. He's, on fire. So I'm going to use the 5. One of my bombs I'm going to use is the 8, Blue Oasis. Dodger Blue, of course, for the hunch bet. But that last race, it broke, way outside at Santa Anita, 11 out of 11. And just kind of, that was a tough trip that day. Wide trip. And I'm going to throw that race out. Gets a better post position today coming down the hill. I think it will like this 6.5 coming down the hill. So at 20-1, that's going to be on my ticket. I'm going to use Eng and Ash 2, the 9, and that's all I'm going to use. I'm going to go 3, 5, 7, 8, and 9.
Scotty, I'll go to you because of the pace scenario. What are you showing? Who's going to be on the lead early? Is it Eng and Ash?
It's Irresistible Force and Shin Jedi, the 1 and the 6 horse. Those 2 horses look to be on the lead. The 6 should sit a really nice trip.
Yeah.
And if this horse can break good, it moves up in win percentage. The breeding metric, our GSR, goes up. And they added blinkers last time on this horse. I'm looking right now. Did they take the blinkers off? No, they kept them on. And the horse is also one of our price plays. It didn't lose by that much last time out. And the other thing I like about this horse a little bit, the 6 horse, is that it went a mile 2 back against a better field than this, much better. In fact, last race was better than this as well. And it showed some speed going longer and now cuts back to 6.5. It's never been down the hill before, but I think this horse is actually very live. Shin Jedi. I'm going there. But those look like the speed horses, but I'm going with the 6.
Yeah,
all right, Gino?
Yeah, the 6 is going to sit a nice trip too. And the race it's better when you watch it than it may look on paper when you see was 8th, because as Scotty was pointing out, was only beaten like a length and 3/4. And the horse loomed up at the top of the lane, but the horse who won just kept going, was a gate to wire winner. And a lot of the time when you kind of loom up and you take that big shot at the horse, like that's the toughest thing to do than to just kind of run on and finish 2nd or 3rd. I want the horse who looms up and takes a chance, trying to run into the horse that ends up winning the races. So Shin Jedi will definitely be, almost feel like it's a bad word, right? When I'm saying it, it's like, oh, I didn't say anything bad, right? That one will be on the ticket for me. And as Skip was pointing out, Annie's Joy checks so many boxes for horses that I like. So was chasing a horse named Rugelach who won 2 starts in a row, and Rugelach won right on the front end. Annie's Joy, same sort of thing, was sitting close, kind of loomed up, and then just faded. It was the first start since January. So Annie's Joy had not raced in 8 months, absolutely needed that start and should take a nice step forward. Now she's going to cut back from the mile to 6.5, which we always love going down the hill when you show that natural tactical speed. And then you cut back, you'll have a little more finish and a little more punch. The only other time she went 6.5, it was on the flat 6.5. She hopped at the start and she was never able to get close like she normally is. So don't use that race only as a gauge for her. I think she fits really, really well in here. On a deeper ticket, I'm going to throw in the 1 too. Irresistible Force actually wired a group that included Annie's Joy. And that horse might be on the lead. Like Scotty was saying, it wouldn't be shocking to me if everybody lets the one go and all try to sit a little bit. And this horse is sneaky because the form is really muddied up. There are 4 or 5 races in a row that aren't that good, but it's different in here. This horse won't be sitting. The plan's just got to be to go.
And the horse breaks good too, Gino. If you look, there's no doubt in my mind that Cedillo is going to send this horse.
Yep.
So that gives this horse a fighting shot for sure.
And at 20-1, certainly worth a shot in a fairly paceless race. All right, we move on to the 10th and final. Gino, right back to you. We're closing out, going a mile in the 16th. 9 winners of 3 lifetime on the turf. Where are we heading?
Yeah, I'm going to try to go 4, 5, 9. I think the 9 Lone Scout I wanted to mention because Lone Scout had a year layoff, came back, probably needed the race, dropped in against much softer, and you feel like this horse has a higher ceiling, can maybe step forward again. And if there's anything like some of those older races, this horse might be able to get back there. Look at the layoff lines that Lone Scout had to deal with. This horse back in October and like August of 2021 was running some really nice races, going a mile and long on the turf, but then had tons of layoff lines, faced some really nice horses, dropped in last time out, got like a wake-up win, and now probably gets back to the surface that they prefer. So the 9's going to be on the ticket for me. The 5, I thought's the horse to beat. Donner Lake might be the one to catch. The last couple races going a mile were pretty good. She sat off the pace a little bit, but I could see them being on the front end or being pretty close in here. So lots of 4, 5, 9 for me.
4, 5, 9. I thought maybe Donner Lake could be a little sneaky since his last couple of races were on the dirt. Scotty, what are your thoughts here?
Well, it does look like a tough race. I will say this: the 5 horse is 7-5 on the EE morning lines. The top pick, it's got the top GSR, and it's also got the top win percentage at 37%. Donner Lake, though, is an interesting one because Donner Lake is 5-2 on the EE morning line, 26% to win, and the horse is tactical as well. And this horse pressed last time out from the inside, and it just didn't like that. This horse doesn't have to press, and I think Hernandez has been aboard a couple of times now. I have a feeling that we're going to see a different type of race from this horse this time. This horse has come from behind before. I'm really not sure. Maybe it didn't like the dirt. I don't know. But this horse, the last win this horse had, the last 2 wins this horse had, actually the last 3 races on turf were 2 wins and a second place finish by a length and a half. So I'm going to give Donner Lake. That's going to be my play to come back off of those poor dirt efforts.
Yeah, Donner Lake would be my top selection as well. Skipper, what are your thoughts?
I'm going to add a couple other horses that you guys didn't mention. The 3 Legitify. I'm going to definitely use this horse on my ticket. I know it's jumping way up, but this horse will be in front. I like that Peter Miller's doing the double jump, going to the grass. It hasn't had a win on the grass, but it's had some good races. But just knowing that I don't think there's a lot of really early speed. I know Donner Lake has showed some, National Giroux showed some, but I think Legitify is going to be in front, and I think they're all going to be chasing. Maybe he could get loose and just keep going. So at 8-1, that's going to be on my ticket. Of course, the 4 and 5 are going to be on my ticket. Lone Scout, I love that Gino mentioned that one. That was definitely going to be on my ticket. And I'm going to add one more, the 8, Flint Stroll. Both of its wins out of 27, which I usually don't like, 2 for 27. Both of them have come over this Santa Anita turf course. I think this horse will get a decent trip. I like Karushi Kamara riding it, and Papa Badromo. It's hard to go against him right now. I know he's got a couple, but I'm going to use this one out of the Papa Badromos.
Skip, we have the 3 horse Legitify 2.5 lengths in front at the first call.
Okay. That's what I just thought this is sneaky. I think it's a good place. We know what they're going to do. You just made me feel a little more confident on it. They're sending this horse, and all the other horses are going to be in chase mode. And sometimes when that happens, the horse in front just keeps going.
Yeah.
All right. Well, gentlemen, we have another good, especially the late part of the card tomorrow. Could be a nice payout in the late pick 5. And this is our final show, Gino, until next year. So wrap us up what we kind of got going on this weekend, and then we'll let you guys get back to your Dodger Blue.
A couple important things for tomorrow. Like always, those pick'em contests, they're free. Tomorrow, you can also try to qualify for the Breeders' Cup betting challenge. There's the super low ratio qualifiers at ExpressBet. Check those out. And then don't forget Sunday, since it's closing day, mandatory pools. So you want to make sure you get involved, even if it's just a little bit in the late pick 5, the pick 6, and some of those last exotic super high 5, because they're going to pay out no matter what. So always take advantage of that opportunity. And then next week, obviously, there'll be a ton of stuff. If anyone needs any help come Breeders' Cup time, I'll be doing a lot of stuff with DRF. I'll be out there a few days on the draw on Monday, recording some stuff on Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday. So if you follow me on social media, I'll do my best to try to steer you in the right direction a few times next week on the Breeders' Cup.
So 2 days left here. First post, both days, 1 o'clock. And then, of course, next weekend, the Breeders' Cup. And gentlemen, well done. Thank you very much. So for Scotty, Skipper, and Gino, appreciate it, gentlemen. Let's win some money this weekend. Close it out. Little bankroll builder, as our friend Bruce would say, for next weekend for the Breeders' Cup. We'll see you guys at the beginning of the next meet, December 26th. Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
Luck. I'm going to go with the bat.
Everybody.
I'm going to go with the baseball swing today. The baseball.